What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. Today we're looking at the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester. This is a sport model finished in Crystal Black Silica. MSRP is $38,900. Let's go ahead and take a full look at what this all-new crossover is going to have to offer. Going ahead and popping the hood, just have a nice manual latch, and we can take a look at this boxer engine. So this is a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. Features all-wheel drive, a CVT transmission, and it has 180 horsepower with 178 pound-feet of torque. With that, curb weight's around 3,600 pounds, has a 16.6 gallon fuel tank, and you're expecting 25 miles per gallon in the city with 32 out on the highway, and it can also tow about 1,500 pounds. So moving to the styling with the all-new 2025, you're going to see a lot of this bronze accent for the sport model. It's kind of the theme of this particular trim. Got a nice set of LED headlights. The actual headlight is down here. You can see how the gloss black grille kind of fades into the shape of those headlights. Subaru badge, a little bit of an opening, fog lights down below. It's a pretty nice looking crossover. It definitely looks a lot more bold than the previous generation, a lot more tough. You can see a sharp body line in the upper portion of the hood, and then making our way around the side, the plastic front bumper fades into the wheel arches. So it has a nice look overall. Set of bronze wheels finished off with a multi-spoke design, 19-inch diameter, little cutout right there to provide some airflow. And you can see more of the bronze throughout the center and some plastic trim. We have black on the door handles and mirror caps, LED turn signal, and then black trim surrounding all the windows. You do have a sunroof up on top with some roof rails, and then the side profile is pretty similar to the previous generation Forester, has the same characteristics and proportions. I do like the symmetrical all-wheel drive logo finished with the bronze accent, kind of divides the roof and the body. Got some bulges for all the fender arches, and then a pretty nice design on these rear taillights. Do have a halogen bulb with some LEDs. Black trim connecting the taillights with the Subaru logo, Forester stamped into the back. Got your bronze sport icon, and then a full plastic rear bumper with some more bronze accents. Got the tailpipe on one side, a blank on the other. And overall, I think the style comes together. It definitely looks like a good update from the previous generation. Underneath the badge, you can just press the button. We have a power operation for the tailgate. You're gonna see a ton of storage space in here. With all the seats folded down, you definitely have a lot of space in here. Nice all-weather floor mat. You can pop this open. Got some hidden storage space. Harman Kardon audio with a subwoofer back here. And you have some hooks as well as a few different little plugs. Pressing that button, you can go ahead and close it, and then hopping in to the back, you can see just how much storage you're gonna get. Now these seats, you have this little push pin, you pull this, that's basically how you release them. Higher trim levels will have an icon back there that you can toggle. So this is gonna have the Startex interior with the gray material vinyl, and then you can see some plastic on the door, some cool bronze fabric with this nice vinyl. Yeah, bronze stitching, and then you can see the two-tone gray with bronze accents all throughout it. Hopping inside, you are going to have air vents. You have some plugs back here, a little bit of storage behind all the seats, and at 5'11", I have a ton of space. This is a really practical and roomy car. Lots of headroom as well, and then in the center, we have a nice armrest with 2 cup holders. So definitely not bad. Good padding too, a little straight up feeling. I feel like the touring model I sat in recently is a little bit more angled, but nonetheless, definitely a pretty good, usable rear seat. Heading on to the front seat now. You have the smart key to lock and unlock it. And then you do get a little bit more soft touch plastics up on the top of the door. We have the same fabric and vinyl material, good padding on the armrest, all of your controls, power controls for the driver's seat, manual over on the passenger. But then you're gonna see the smooth gray color with all the bronze accents like we see in back. So definitely a nice design for the sport trim. You have more bronze accents on the steering wheel as well as the upper dash. Let's go ahead and fire it up. So this is basically what you're going to expect on any Subaru. We have our analog tach and speedometer, and then a nice small screen in the center with a few things of information. You can also toggle your drive mode right here, giving you a little bit more instant power depending on how you drive it. And then it has an 8-speed shiftable CVT, so it can give you a little more control over the transmission. Windshield wiper stalk, headlights over on the left, Bluetooth and audio on the left, and cruise control on the right. You have your tailgate release. You also have the tailgate sensor, interior lighting, one of your air vents, and then just plastic across the dash. I really like the airbag cover with this cool texture to it with the vinyl. Get some bronze accents. And then all your drive modes are up on top. You can also scroll this upper screen just like you would expect on any Subaru. You can tap it or swipe it. We have the screen in the center with all different icons and tiles. Really easy to operate. The car icon as well. You can further the adjustments with the vehicle. You have your X mode, cruise control settings, a few more items. Home icon, of course, getting you back to there. We have driver profiles that'll pop up, and climate's always going to be down here. You have your heated seats, your fan control. You can also tap that and get a little bit more controls in the screen. Going into reverse, you got a decent sized backup camera filling up about a third of the screen itself. And then there are plugs down below with wireless charging, some more of this vinyl and stitching material, storage in the center, good padding on the armrest with stitching, and then a lot of storage. Glove box, pretty large as well. And then one last look at the interior. Familiar up front like a Subaru, but I do like all the extra uses of materials. So it really does make this feel much more up to date, much nicer than the previous one. Massive manual sunshade, you really gotta reach for it to open or close it. You do have a nice sunglass holder, controls, and then door buttons underneath for the garage. All right, setting off now in the 2025 Subaru Forester Sport. So giving it some throttle in the sport mode. This is definitely not a fast car, so it's, you know, nothing that's gonna blow your socks off, just the basic 4-cylinder boxer. You can kind of feel it like shifting with how the 8-speed aspects to the CVT works. So it's not the smoothest power delivery, not that there's much power there. However, I mean, you're still gonna get up to speed, and I'm sure most people probably don't really mind it. Normal driving, it's definitely pretty comfortable. The seats are really padded. I like just the plush feeling of them. There's definitely a lot of squish to the pad themselves. Good lumbar support and everything. Steering wheel, armrests. I mean, it's a nice place to be, honestly. You fit really comfortable in this SUV. So I like that aspect. It feels really easy to drive too. Visibility's all really good when you're looking around, getting back up to some speed. So right there, almost like, I don't know, a little unrefined for the transmission, but nonetheless, it'll get the job done. Over your right shoulder, nothing to complain about. Same with the left. The manual sunshade is definitely big. It really, you gotta reach for it. It's pretty quiet too in here. The suspension is really soft. I think it's really just smooth the way it tackles bumps and everything. It does really ride nice and comfortably. There is just a little bit of wind noise. I wouldn't say there's road noise from the tires or anything, but you can just hear a little bit of the wind, probably just with the taller roofline in this. But overall, you know, the drive of this new Forester, it's kind of what you would expect. It feels pretty solid. It feels like something you can have some fun with on the weekends, going out on an adventure or some dirt trails. Of course, with the drive modes that are blacked out right now since we're going too fast, but with those off-road drive modes and everything, this is going to be a pretty capable kind of family-style smaller crossover. So whether you're going to be daily driving this, commuting with it, I mean, it's kind of a car that can kind of do it all. So you really are able to do a lot with it. Good storage solutions all throughout the car as well. So it seems like a pretty practical vehicle, and really can't complain. There's nothing mind-blowing about the drive. It's what you would expect. It drives good. It's refined enough for what it is and for the price point. So for, you know, way under 40 grand, given how practical it is and the capabilities, you know, I feel like the refinements are pretty decent for what it is. And I like the interior a lot. It's a nice place to sit in. Definitely easy to operate. Everything is really simple. Wouldn't mind physical fan speed icons somewhere, just because you have to wait for the screen to turn on to do that, and sometimes the screen has some lag. So that's just my one little complaint with the interior. Like, just takes a little bit sometimes for it to operate. But overall, definitely a pretty nice place to be.